1 minute. No. Okay. Here we go. Now we have a half. So we have here 400 grams of oats. Really, you can kind of do whatever you want here. We have, what is this? 150 grams of walnuts. Then see, do walnuts grow on a tree?
Huh?
Do these nuts grow on a tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. We went on a tea today to find lots of trees and shkedia. So we also have 200 grams of almonds. You want to pour these in, sweetie?
Yeah. By yourself.
By yourself. And this is going to make a ton. Got them all? Great job. Okay, before we add anything else, we got to break these up a little bit. Are you ready? Turn it on.
Which way?
Okay. Now the nuts are still pretty big, but they're like chopped up a little bit. Now we're going to add let's measure a half a cup of shredded coconut. Put it in. Good job. And now we're going to do a half a cup of raisins. Oh, you're doing a last little sprinkle? You're such a good sprinkler. Oh, no. So we have here a half of a mishmish. Yeah, it's a mishmish. So we have here a half a cup of yellow raisins. Actually, a fourth of a cup. I see. Pick it up. And then we have a fourth a cup of mishmishim minus one, because you said you want to eat that one, or you can go in. You're going to take one to eat. Okay. So about a half a cup of dried fruit. Now we're going to mix it up again. Ready? Turn it on. Good job. Okay. Now we're going to add 500 grams of pureed dates.
Yummy!
I know you love this stuff. And this is no sugar added, just pureed dates. And I always do the snacks first because then it keeps the kids more occupied while I do other food prep, and it gets them excited about prepping food. Okay.
This one?
Yeah. Here, you want to lick? No, not from the spoon, from here. Yummy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yum.
Yummy.
Yummy.
Yeah, you're really yummy. Okay. Now we're going to put half a cup of chia seeds.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah. Put these in.
What?
And pour this in.
I
asked you. Sorry, I thought you said no. Okay, let's let this get in a little bit. I'm going to push this down. Otherwise, it's going to just stick to the top. There we go. Let's get this down a little bit more. Otherwise, it's all just going to stick to the lid. Okay. Wait, I got to get the cover on. Wait a minute. I'm going to add a little honey.
Yeah.
This, I'm really going to eyeball, but I'm pretty good. One big thing around is a half a cup. And then you always want to add a little bit of salt. So this is the pink Himalayan coarse sea salt that I use for like everything. You ready? Nope, more. Wait. No, not so hard.
You're moving.
It is. You put it on the bottom. And now watch, we're going to give it a little stir. Here. And it's almost ready. And then we're going to pour it in a bowl and turn it into kadarim. Oh, we forgot one of your favorite ingredients.
What?
Chocolate chips. Never want to miss chocolate chips. Okay. You could see it's already coming into the texture for a ball, but if we put it through one more time, it'll be even easier to roll. And that'll keep them busy. Okay, basically done. Now we're going to take this off, and we're going to pour it all into a big mixing bowl. And I'll show you what it looks like.
Like this.
Now ask me, are these healthy for weight loss? Okay, probably not. Definitely in the healthy category. Probably not in the healthy for weight loss category. Now I'm going to take a half a cup, which I left, of the 60% dark chocolate chips.
Not this.
Put them in. Yeah, and the last ones you saved from your breakfast that you didn't use. Okay, now what do we have to do? Pause and clean up here. Right, take a pause. All of the empty bags into the trash. And I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, we'll get the mixer out of the way. Okay, here's what it looks like. Oh, you're using that spoon to lick, then I can't use that spoon to mix. Watch out. Just a big wooden spoon. I'm gonna mix the chocolate chips in. And these, with the dates, are just, do not put the dirty spoon in. Put it in the sink, sweetie. Super easy to now roll into balls. I'll just show you. I know, you're gonna roll them into balls while I cut up all the vegetables. So, as you can see, it's like a really easy mix to roll into a ball. Okay, Benson, you would be my taster?
Yeah.
Mimi, did you want to come taste? Mimi, you wanted to come taste one of it?
This one.
Okay.
Okay, so I made one.
Oh, you made such a nice little one.
This one.
Here, Mimi, come, I'll give you a big one. Yeah. Tell us, what do you think? Are they good? Come here, taste it. Super yummy? Okay.
I don't know. So there's so much peanut butter.
There's no peanut butter in it.
There's something like
Yeah, the tamarind.
Yeah. There's something. There's too much tamarind.
Too much tamarind for you? And Bensi likes it with the tamarind. Okay. Yum. So Bensi is going to roll these. I'm going to move him out of the way. And he is really good at rolling them into balls. And I get to do all the veggie prep.
Sometimes I make 2 big ones.
He makes big ones, little ones. Let me get him set up and wash my hands and then do the real food prep for the week. Sima, are you on Zoom yet?
No.
Are you on Zoom yet? Because I asked you. Okay, Bensi, you come over here. Say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye.
Come on over here. Let go. Can you come help Bensi roll these, please? Till your Zoom. Okay. Only takes 10 minutes to roll. Come over here in front. So you don't get crowded. There you go. Awesome. They are gluten free. Okay. Now the real part begins. I'm going to prep all my vegetables for the week, and I always start with the lettuce. Because if I don't have lettuce prepped, then when I want to make a salad really quick and easy, then it gets, then I really just don't eat salads and all of it goes to waste. Let's let people in who want to come. Hey guys, welcome. You missed that we made a recipe for 2 Bishvat energy bites that now my little kids are rolling so that I can do the real food prep. Okay. So I have a clean space, and the first thing that I'm going to do is actually do my whole grains, because those will just pop. Also, if you don't have one of these easy defrost boards, I took this chicken out of the freezer about an hour ago, and it's already defrosted. So this is a huge help. I go through weeks where I do a ton of Shabbos cooking, and the kids kind of eat leftovers for proteins. And usually if I do a week of that, the next week I don't overcook on Shabbos, and I'll do more fresh food to kind of have a balance. Also depends how busy my work week is. So right now I'm going to make some quinoa with red lentils and buckwheat with brown rice. And this will also just give us a lot of whole grains that are already ready and in the fridge. So those can go up cooking first before I do all the vegetables, and also preheat the oven. So I need my half cup measuring cup. Now this stuff is more for my big kids. My little kids will have a little bit of this, but they're just not going to eat that much of it. So I'm not going to make the whole bag. A lot of it's going to be my FFCs, which are so easy to just mix with a salad for lunch. So I'm going to do 1 cup of quinoa with 1 cup of red lentils. And that's enough for me for the week, for sure. And like for my bigger kids who will totally eat this, like on top of a salad. And I put them together in the same pot.
How much bacon on you
Then I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of soup mix. And this is the kind of healthier version of soup mix. It's organic vegetables, vegan, and gluten-free. Pinch of magic salt and some water. Now, I know this isn't like an official big fancy kind of food prep thing, but the whole point is that you guys can be in your kitchen doing your own food prep, and to show you what real food prep is like. Real food prep is rarely, you know, in this awesome, clean, perfect environment. It's just getting it in between everything else you have to do in real life. So that's gonna simmer. And in my other small pot, I'm gonna do the brown rice. And as much as I wanna do buckwheat, I'm actually looking, and I think if I make it, I'm not gonna get to it. So I can always make more later in the week. My kids like the round brown rice much, much better than basmati brown rice. They think it's more like poutine. So I'm gonna do 2 cups of that because my kids will also eat that. Okay. And just a little salt. And I don't even add any oil to these. I just don't find that I need it. I'm gonna add some water. And I'm gonna preheat my oven to 200 on temperature, and I'll turn it on convection when I get my ingredients and my veggies.
Mommy, it's really sticky.
They're really sticky. I'm gonna add the water to the brown rice. When I make round brown rice also, I don't just do 2 to 1 like white rice. I add an extra half a cup of water, and I find that it really softens it a lot better. Okay. Now we're on to doing lettuce and veggies. So I'll tell you what I have left over that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do cauliflower. I have a bunch of these dark green zucchini. And guys, tell me kind of what do you struggle with most with food prep? Unmute, guys. This isn't like a cooking show, right? You could totally talk. What do you guys do for food prep? I have here a acorn squash, I have some beets, which are some sweet potato, some kohlrabi. What do you guys think? What's like kind of the best or easiest food prep for you? Fennel. We really hate fennel, and it's very hard for me to find things to do. You air fry the fennel?
Yes.
Is it yummy? Because we've tried fennel a lot of different ways, and it comes in our farm box, and we have not found a way that we like it yet.
Okay, I'm not a fennel fan, and when I air fry it, I like slice it and then just spray it, put some coarse salt on it, and then I eat it with yellow mustard, which seems like really strange, but it like has it has that like super pretzel taste.
Okay. Oh, you can't unmute. It's loud there. It can't be louder than it is in my house, guys. Come on. Okay, cool. I'm going to try it, and I have an air fryer. So I'm going to put these on the side to air fry, but that means I don't have to prep them now because air frying is pretty much an immediate cooking process. And then I also take out any herbs that are left for the week. So I look at my vegetables, and I put on my master chef hat, or I go to my Beachbody On Demand in the search under recipes, and you can write any ingredient and it will give you 100 recipes with that ingredient, by the way. But it looks to me like I have a lot of soup veggies here. So I think I'm gonna do the cilantro and the dill and the carrots. I think I'm gonna have to put the fennel in there because I think that will actually be a really good combination with the 2 sweet potato and the kohlrabi and half of the zucchini, and I think that is going to make a super delicious soup. And then I'm going to roast the beets, the acorn squash, the cauliflower, and leave these back in the fridge for like quick peel zoodles like I did last night, just with a peeler. So that's kind of how I organize my meal prep. I look at what I have left, and I decide what will go well together, and if I get stuck, I look up a recipe. Okay, so first let's do soup veggies. Cutting board. Stuff's already simmering, moving it down to low. And I take out my Giganta soup pot. This is my Giganta soup pot. And sometimes it's full, sometimes it's not full. Doesn't really matter. But I find it the best pot for making soup. And this I do add oil to, by the way. I think, first of all, your veggies are much more bioavailable. You actually get a lot more nutrition out of them. And like Alana says, don't pour, use a cap. So 1 cap of olive oil. Okay, guys, what is your biggest challenge with food prep? Unmute, ask me away. I don't care how loud it is. That's why we're here. What is your biggest challenge with food prep? One more hack. I keep a plastic bag for all the garbage, peels, and everything else next to me. So this doesn't like turn into an extra hour of cleanup. Or I love saving these boxes that come in the vegetables for garbage. So I'm just gonna peel carrots here and start chopping vegetables for soup. Tell me, what's your biggest, I should be quiet, but I'm talking to them.
No, Fluffy's trying to sleep.
Fluffy's trying to sleep. The dog is trying to sleep. She can go sleep in your room.
Oh, it's bedtime.
Okay, guys, you have me here. Anybody have a question? Let's see who else is here. Talia, Shoshana.
Maybe I'll speak. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
For me, I've started recently like making a sort of rough meal plan, which is huge for me. But I still have this block of voice saying it's so restrictive, it's so negative association.
You still have a negative what? I said I will. What?
negative associations with like the constraints of meal planning?
So I think that's such a good question. And you have to, it comes down to mindset, which is what you're going to find is the answer to everything in 2B mindset. And if the meal plan is there to make you not eat other things, then you're right. It feels completely constraining. If the meal plan is there to just help you to, when things are crazy in your life, eat the food you are actually excited to eat at mealtime instead of having to go around and figure out what you're in the mood for, then it feels like a gift and you don't have any resentment around it. So like with 2B mindset, you know, I do like a general prep. Like I'll make my grains now and I'll prep like lettuce and but I don't have to have a specific recipe on a specific day. But I will tell you, if I have a really, really busy week, then I will take all this food and kind of write myself, okay, these 3 days for lunch, when you stop work and like you don't know what you're gonna eat, you're like deer in the headlights, you're eating soup. Like, okay, let's make some soft-boiled eggs, have a salad with soft-boiled eggs these days. Not because I can't have anything else, but because I know, like between the work and the kids on those days, even cutting up a fresh salad is gonna be like, I won't be in the mood when I'm actually in the mood to eat a salad to do the prep for a salad. So where's your resistance really coming from? Like, because you feel like, well, if I prepped the food, then I can't eat anything else? Or is it really just a gift to yourself to make life more convenient?
I think it's also like based on like historical patterns of my like dieting and that's why. And I think I need to create a new narrative about it and then feel better about it.
I think that's the best you can possibly give, is because when you're dieting, meal prep is about making sure that you don't eat things. And in 2B mindset, it's about making sure that even when life goes crazy, you do have the food that you actually want to eat just because it's delicious and convenient for you and makes your life easier so you're not obsessing and worrying about food. Like this food prep now, until I go to the grocery store on Wednesday, I'm basically like, I have tofu and tuna fish, and I'm gonna make some soft-boiled eggs, and I'm gonna make this chicken right now. Basically, I'm gonna be pretty much done. Like, I don't really have to do too much more food prep of anything till Wednesday, other than maybe throw a potato in the air fryer or something for the kids if they want one, which they can actually do themselves. Also, if you do not have a big knife, you are food prepping, it's going to take you 8 times as long. Just a whole bag of carrots. I'm going to do the fennel. I always take all the outside stuff off, and then I wash the inside. Okay, who has some more meal prep questions? Where do you struggle with meal prep? What's kind of your hesitancy or mindset? Are you somebody who has to really like plan out their meals ahead of time? Are you somebody who likes to be more spontaneous? What's the story here? Jen, what about you?
It depends on the week. I make sure that I have like all my staples. Like if I like the protein bagels, I make sure that I have those in my freezer. I said this to someone recently that like I almost never go into my pantry because my fridge is my pantry. And so I always have baby carrots, baby cucumbers, also baby peppers, things that are just easy to grab for me and my kids. And pre-washed lettuce because I hate washing lettuce. That's like the thing that I literally hate the most. Sometimes I'll put up a soup. I always have dressings that we like in the fridge.
Yeah.
And that's basically my food prep. Like,
exactly. Great. So for me, I like to have some whole grains. So since I want to feel the same way and not have to go to my pantry, that's why doing the grain prep is really important. And I wish that I could do pre-washed salad when it was just me, I could. but with 3 teenage girls who like to eat salad as much as I do now, I have to actually wash it. We go through like 6 to 8 heads of lettuce per week. So I'll wash these heads and that'll last us like 2 days. And then I'll have to wash some more.
I know.
But again,
We're getting there too.
Problems. First world problem.
We are getting there too. We basically go through 1 box of lettuce per day.
Yeah, exactly.
And we cannot keep enough red peppers in this house. It's like not normal.
Well, this is the best time, guys, of year for red peppers. It's like almost, they're so juicy and sweet. It's like eating a fruit.
Yeah.
It's like the best snack. One thing I do want to address, some people were asking about, well, you're putting sweet potato in your soup, but you're making kind of like a veggies mo soup. So I'm putting these tiny 2 small sweet potatoes in a total veggie soup. They're accessory. I'm not going to worry about them. I can have it at night. It's not going to affect my weight loss. And Alana talks about this a few times that, you know, if a little apple in your salad at night makes it exciting and happy, like try, track, and see, but don't get like obsessive and anxiety about it. Still, herbs are also, by the way, one of the best ways to add a lot of flavor to your food really easily, especially to soups and salads. Also,
what did you say?
Herbs are an amazing way to add nutrition to all of your soups and salads. 0 calories, and each and every single one has a totally different nutrient profile. So just like, you know, romaine lettuce and kale are different and give you different nutrition benefits, every single herb also has amazing nutrition benefits. So I always buy dill and kuzbara, which is cilantro and parsley every week. And either I'll use them in salads or box is full. Okay, we're almost out of our 40 minutes. Questions. Give me what you got. Don't waste the time. We got 40 minutes. So we have
I want to ask you about tofu recipe.
So for me, do you have an air fryer?
No.
So I like to roast my tofu in the oven if you don't have an air fryer, because I really like it crispy. And if I'm doing it for more than just myself, then I don't really have a good frying pan big enough to do it and do vegetables. And you never want to cook your tofu with your vegetables or it will get soggy. So I always do my tofu in the oven, then on a sheet pan with a little bit of olive oil and spices, and I change up the spices. Sometimes I'll do curry spice. Sometimes I'll do like barbecue spice. Sometimes I'll do any of those kind of things, or just salt and pepper and garlic. Za'atar I really like. And if you have an air fryer, they're even better and even crispier in the air fryer. Tofu is also amazing in soup, by the way. I put it in soups all the time. And if you get the basil tofu, I'll show you what it looks like. This one, it's totally good raw on salad. So again, like if I'm like really slow on time and I don't care, I don't love the texture as much as I love it crispy, but it is totally good and totally delicious. And, you know, the 4-2B mindset, like I would eat total like random lunch of like grabbing stuff off my kid's plate. So, you know, ooh, not a good kohlrabi. Next.
I'm making myself a pita pizza. I'm starving.
Okay. You're not starving. You're just hungry.
Yeah, I'm really hungry.
Okay.
English, maybe.
Right? Does that sound like your house too? Do you want me to cut you a salad when I'm making myself a salad here in a few minutes? Please ask Bensi if he wants a pita pizza too. My kids love, by the way, when she says pita pizza, They love these mini spelt pitas. I keep them around for this exact reason. So if they want to make themselves like a quick lunch, these are spelt.
Oh, here's that.
And they can make it for themselves super fast. I found pizza sauce in the pantry, by the way.
You did?
Yeah. It's in the bottom corner, bottom shelf. So last kohlrabi, and then the soup is ready to go up. Okay, more questions about food prep. Where do you get stuck? What type of day? Do you guys do snacktional? Do you eat a snack? Do you plan a snack? For me, when I find that I'm overeating at lunch or dinner, I know it's time to plan a snack. Either my anxiety is up, or maybe things are crazy in the house. I'm not paying enough attention when I'm eating, and I'm overeating at meals. And then I feel like very helpful to plan a snack, and that really helps me like keep it in line, because I know, oh well, I'm going to eat again in 2 hours, so I definitely don't need to have that fear of getting hungry and overeat. Anybody else have that?
Can you help me open this?
Okay, now the zucchini and the soup is done.
The soup?
I'm making a vegetable soup.
Yay.
Okay. Go. And then I'm just going to make, and for this cauliflower, I'm gonna make cauliflower steaks, which is just super easy. And I do with olive oil spray and grill spice and salt and garlic powder. It's really yummy. Okay, soup is up. Any other meal prep questions? We only have a few minutes left. Any other areas where you feel like your meal prep is falling down? Are you over relying on Shabbos leftovers but not really enjoying them or wanting them? Questions about FFCs? All the FFCs are done, by the way. I'm turning them off. The brown rice still needs another minute, but the quinoa and red lentils is already done. I get the cauliflower that is grown hydroponically, so I almost never have like a bug issue, but you still have to wash it, and you do have a little bit more of a issue with sand, so it's really more about rinsing the sand out than anything else. Anybody else? Any questions, comments? Okay, remember the oven is already on and hot, and when I'm doing the cauliflower, literally that simple. Gonna make like 6 steaks. Maybe can you hand me the baking pan from down there? Thanks. I do everything on baking paper, whether you're using aluminum pans or real pans. If you're using aluminum pans, you don't want aluminum getting in your food. It's a cancer risk. Or if you're using real baking pans, it just really takes a lot of the stress out of the cleanup to use baking paper. So here's the cauliflower steaks, and sometimes they break apart a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. Still delicious. And it's really that easy. Like I don't have to like floret everything. And again, like it also helps me keep from overeating it, because when I floret it, I'll easily eat the entire cauliflower. But when it's in steaks and it's on my plate, a much more kind of portion that I know I won't pay with a stomach ache and bloating the next day, feels very natural and instinctual. Okay, now we're gonna dry my hands. I literally call this salt magic unicorn salt. It makes everything taste good. If you are not using this salt, your food is not gonna taste as good. Literally, I have it coarse, which I use the most, and also I have it fine. But not only is it lower in sodium, but if you're 2B mindset and you're drinking a lot of water, you should be having enough salt to make sure that you're not getting, overhydrated, and that your meals are going to taste super good. So this is just za'atar garlic powder, and salt, and it's gonna be amazing.
Whenever Betsy wants it, it's in the
Take a
microwave.
look. Whenever Bency wants it to the microwave, okay. Here we go. Into the oven. And by the way, just so you know, this is real life. Somebody had turned the timer on in my oven, so it is not preheated, but it went in the oven anyway. Because it doesn't really matter. It'll just take longer to cook. So the last two things I have is the acorn squash. Now, Alana recommends this amazing squash for weight loss because it's really, if you eat the rind, it's like an FFC, but it's like so close to a veggie. And the same thing for beets. So especially when I find that around my period, especially when you're craving more carbs, these kind of vegetables as the FFC on your plate is amazing for weight loss and actually is related to easier periods. And then even when you're not near your period, they're also amazing and they are fantastic. Beets head a little bit more towards the veggie side, but again, like try, track, and see. For me, I can have beans and lentils at night as a protein, but beets, for some reason for me, act more like a carb. So I always mix them when I'm roasting with acorn squash so I remember that they're a carb. And if I want to treat them like a veggie, then I mix them with carrots so that there's less beet per cup, and then it totally can act as a vegetable. So I kind of decide what mood I'm in, where I am in my cycle. Beets are amazing for women. Really, really an amazing, amazing vegetable for women's health. Okay, guys, we are running out of time. We have like a few minutes left here. Last questions, meal prep. Issues with creativity. Are you like a recipe person and if you don't have a recipe you feel lost? Real questions, you know, like in terms of planning when you get home from work, anything, now is the time.